Okay, you guys, who's ready for another embarrassing, cringy story time? I know I am. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, thank you so much and welcome to the channel. Okay, you guys. Oh, God, you saw the title and the thumbnail. This is gonna be a good one. Okay. So if you hear any noise, background noise, there are guys working outside the house right now. So that's what the little motors are outside, and I had to have the AC on in the other room because it is just completely, it's 101 degrees. So I have to have that. So anyway, you guys, okay, let's just jump into the story time. So I met this guy on Plenty of Fish. This is summer 2017. I was just getting back into the dating game. We're gonna call him Henry, okay? And he was a great guy. So I thought, you know, typical guy I like. Tall, good looking, handsome. I mean, I only date good looking guys, okay? So yes, and we met. He did say right away, he said, you know what, I'm looking for something just for this summer because of my job, I might be, you know, relocated to a different state for my job. And I was like, okay, that's fine. As long as it's not gonna be a hookup situation or a friends with benefits situation. I want something actually meaningful. Like, I wanna, like, you know, build a foundation and then we can, you know, date and stuff like that. I don't wanna, like, it to be like a, you know, like a summer fling. It could be a summer romance, but not a fling. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. It's like, okay, cool. So this was summer 2017, like I said. So yeah, everything went well. Summer was great. We went like on 10 dates. We went to the beach, we played pool, we went bowling, we went to a road trip to South Padre, and we had so much fun. And yes, we had a great summer. Everything was going great. He was just the perfect guy. That's what I thought. Everything was great. So then the fall comes around and I think, okay, well, all good things have to come to an end. No, apparently he found out that because his job said actually he's gonna be staying here in Houston. I was like, oh great, so we can continue our romance. He's like, yeah. I was like, great. So our romance continued throughout the fall. Then in early November, he began to get really distant. Just started, you know, giving me one-word texts, answers. I would call him, he wouldn't call me back, and then I called him out on it. I told him, what the hell's going on? You know, you're being distant. He said, you know, you're right, I am. I just been feeling so weird about us. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where we're going. I'm like, well, you said you just want to like, just have something kind of easy, but, you know, no commitment, but then not friends with benefits. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm really, really falling for you, but I don't want to get married. And I'm like, well, I'm not looking for marriage right now. Like, let's just keep dating and see what happens. He's like, yeah, okay. You're right. I'm overthinking it. I'm like, yeah, you are. So usually I'm overthinking it, so this time he was, so. But he seemed like a nice guy. He didn't want to hurt me, and I was like, oh, okay. So then he's like, oh, by the way, my mom really wants to meet you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, actually, my grandmother too. Actually, my whole family wants to meet you. When Thanksgiving is next week, you just want to come join us for Thanksgiving? I was like, sure, why not? But I said, but did you just say you don't want anything serious? It's kind of serious when you bring me home to your parents. He's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still conflicted. Like, I really like you, but I don't want anything too serious. My parents really want to meet you. And I'm like, okay. He's like, hell with it. What could go wrong? Famous last words. I was like, okay, yeah, hey, free turkey, why not? So we made plans. I would come over for Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm looking cute. And, you know, I go to his mom's house. His whole family's there. His grandma, his aunt, his nephews, nieces, everyone's there. And I'm like, oh my God, I meet the whole family. They love me. They think I'm gorgeous. They think, oh, honey, you're so gorgeous. You're so pretty. You're so nice. I'm like, oh, thank you. So this is back when I drank. You know, I'm 2 years sober, in case you didn't know. And so the wine was flowing, pouring, and we were having turkey and stuffing and everything. We were eating and talking and laughing and sharing stories, and everything was going so nice until it wasn't. So I didn't know this, but so he was drinking a lot, right? He drank a whole bottle of wine really fast. And I was like, you know, come to think of it, I told him at the table, I've never seen you drink before. And he's drunk at this point. He's like, oh, well, I've been drinking years. And I'm like, oh gosh, why not? He's like, he whispers to me, I have a drinking problem. I was like, oh no. I'm like, then why'd you drink? He's like, I just slipped up. I fucked up. I was like, oh no. He's like, God, I'm such a fucking asshole when I'm drinking. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. So then I go to the bathroom. I come back, he's drinking more. I'm like, what's going on? So then I'm like, Henry, you gotta stop drinking. He's like, shut up. I'm like, don't ever tell me to shut up, I say. He says, shut the fuck up. I'm like, Henry, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. He says, did you not hear what I said? I said, shut the fuck up. That's what he says. So loud that his grandmother and everyone hears, and the conversation stops and everyone looks at us. And I'm just like, oh my God. His mom's like, that is no way to talk to a young lady. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you for thinking I'm so young. Okay, girl. Can we just take a moment to like observe this highlight right now? Like, it's just, oh God, I know. It's just, you know, it's iconic. All right, one more time. Ooh, oh, okay. Sorry, just like, this highlight is giving me like the feels. Okay, anyway, so I say, Henry, you just had too much to drink. And he's like, shut up, don't tell me what to do. So I just said, I'm not gonna talk to him the rest of the night. So another 15 minutes go by, and I'm like, Henry, that needs to be your last drink. You're just drinking way too much. I'm getting really worried. He's like, you're not my wife. And if you keep nagging, you're gonna be single. So then he's like, you know, I've had enough of you. So he gets up, takes his glass, ding, 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 ding. Hey guys, I got a cheers. He's drunk, so he's like, I got a cheers. I'm breaking up with this bitch tonight. The look on his grandmother's face was priceless. I swear to God. So I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, I'm done now. Like, this is just beyond the line. He's like, I'm breaking up with this bitch. She thinks she's my wife. She's nothing to me. His mother's like, okay, Henry, it's time to go home. You're just bang out of order. His grandmother starts to cry. She's like, this is so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. You're such a lovely young lady. And I'm just like, oh, so I hug the grandmother and I'm just so upset myself. He's like, you see, you're making my grandmother cry. And I'm like, I'm making her cry. You're making her cry. I'm not making her cry. I'm the one hugging her. So he's just, I think he's had like 2 or 3 bottles of wine at this point. So this is getting ridiculous. He says, just get out of my house. Get out of my house. He keeps saying it like 3 or 4 times. Get out of my house. And he's yelling. I don't want to yell here, but he's yelling. And he's like, get out of my house. I didn't tell this story for years because the way I say it is, I'm not going to tell any stories if I can't laugh about it. And I can finally laugh about it now. So I can tell the story now. But like in the past, it would get me emotional. Because I liked this guy at the time. So my mom, his mom walks me out and says, oh my God, you're like a daughter to me. I'm like, but I've only met you this one time. She's like, oh, it doesn't matter. You're like a daughter to me. And I feel so horrible. Oh my God. She hugs me and I'm like, okay. So I leave. 3 or 4 days go. Oh, okay. The noise stopped. I guess they finally stopped doing what they were doing outside. Anyway, so 3 or 4 days later goes by. What am I doing? Whatever. So 3 or 4 days go by and I get a call from him. So nothing, I didn't hear nothing for 3 or 4 days. I get a call from him and he says, hey girly. I'm like, hey. And he's like, I'm so bored. You wanna go to the bar? I'm like, I thought you called to apologize. He said, for what? for telling me to shut up and embarrassing me and telling me to get out of your house on Thanksgiving. He's like, oh, yeah, that's just how I get when I'm drinking. Now you know, girl. And I'm like, so you're expecting me to just put up with that? He's like, yeah, you're my girlfriend. So that's what girlfriends do. They put up with guys and what they do. I was like, this has to be a sick joke. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, that's what girlfriends do. Girlfriends put up with guys. Guys do what they want, and girlfriends just put up with it. I literally was just like laughing because I was just like, this guy can't be for real. Like, this has to be some kind of joke. So I'm just like, have you lost your last brain cell in your mind, in your brain? He says, no, that's just how it works. Guys fuck up and girls just forgive them. What are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I fucked up. And I'm gonna keep fucking up every day. And you're gonna have to just put up with it. I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. So I'm like, well, guess what? We're done. He's like, okay. I'm like, maybe you don't understand. We're breaking up. He says, I mean, you're lost. I go, no, you're lost. I'm a catch and you fucked it up. He says, is there anything I can do to, you know, make you change your mind? He's like, yeah, you can go to AA, you can get clean, you can get sober again, you know. I mean, this drinking is a problem. You're going to the bar tonight. He's like, yeah, but you can come with me. And I'm like, no. So he says, okay, well, you're a party pooper. I'm going to the bar tonight. And since I'm single, I'm going to take any girl home and I'm going to hook up with her. And he says, but no worries, I'll do it in your honor. I'm like, you're going to bang some hoe in my honor? He said, yeah. I'm like, you are a nutcase. Goodbye. So I hang up the phone, block him, and I haven't heard from him in the past 5 years. I was like, what the fuck? I forgot if I told you this, but I met him on Plenty of Fish. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah. I no longer have a Plenty of Fish account because of this story. It's a dating app if you didn't know. I mean, oh my God. What the absolute hell is going on here? Like, it's just, these guys keep getting crazier and crazier. So anyway, I thought I would mention this. God, my makeup looks so good. Oh my God. That's like what I do. I like put makeup on every day and I look at myself in the mirror because it looks so good. It's crazy. I'm like, ah. Anyway, you guys, I love you guys so much. I know you guys want me to do like a makeup tutorial, but honestly, I just like doing my makeup off camera. I'm not really an on-camera makeup girl. You know what I mean? Like, putting my makeup on camera. I'm not really beauty guru, but, well, we can admire it together when it's done like this. Oh my God. Don't you love how under the brow matches that, like, perfectly? It's like, oh God. I love how I end every video. I'm just like, I'm done. Okay, you guys, this ends the story. Tomorrow's video is going to be pros and cons of being trans. You don't want to miss it. That's tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this story time. Let me know your comments about this in the comments below. Have you had a similar experience? I mean, the guy literally, it's almost like he was trying to break up with me during Thanksgiving dinner. Like, he literally just, like, was the worst. And he refuses to get help. He refuses to go to AA. You know, he didn't want to even acknowledge what he did and what he said to me in front of his parents and his grandmother and his nephews. I mean, it's so awful. It's disgusting how he's behaving, screaming at me. Get out of my house and shut the fuck up. And I mean, he literally said, I'm breaking up with this bitch tonight. And during his toast. How gross is that? I mean, he's vile. He's vile. And the only reason I didn't block him was I thought he was going to apologize and said he wants to go to a bar and forget everything happened. Like, he's nuts. Anyway, that's my story of Henry and our summer romance. It turned into a nightmare. A mess. Thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Mwah! Until next time. Bye, guys.